Hey there, Cheesemeisters, and welcome back to the Peach Pod After Dark. I am Jeff, and Peggy Lipton from the Mod Squad. And joining me on the other end of the internet, my host.
I'm Leslie, and why must I be the only feminist in this family?
It's fair. It's totally fair. This week, Cheesemeisters, we did it! We watched the movie we told you we were going to watch.
We did.
First time in 3 weeks.
There was no way this was going to be too upsetting to discuss.
No, that's very true. And I'm not even saying that talk radio was too upsetting. It just was not the vibe I was looking for.
That's okay. I'll say it. For me.
Yeah, it might have been too upsetting for you. For me, it was just like, this feels heavy. I don't really want to do this. This movie is not heavy.
No, other than
this movie
for the
is
women.
Almost meringue. It is light and fluffy. Unless, as you say, you happen to be one of the women in this movie, because it's 100% you're getting pregnant. Yeah, it's two women in this movie, both of them preggers. We're watching Father of the Bride, Part 2. The 1995, there was a sequel to the original, so maybe we can do that one too. Masterpiece. Written by Nancy Myers and Charles Shire, directed by Charles Shire, starring Steve Martin, Diane Keaton, Kimberly Williams, George Newbern, Martin Short, B.D. Wong, and Kieran Culkin. Same as in Father of the Bride Part 1, which we did back when Mel and Jackie got married, you guys. So go back and give it a listen. We are watching this in conjunction with Season 4, Episode 18, Heartbreaker, because Andrea's pregnant and shit and has to tell people. And our spelling connection, just like Father of the Bride Part 1, is Martin Short. He was in an episode of The Love Boat, for those who have forgotten the lessons learned in Father of the Bride Part 1.
I did.
Oh, you did? You forgot that it was a Marty Short deal?
Oh, yes. I often forget the spelling connections. I'm like, why? I'm not going to question it. Or why? Except for Jose Clemente Hernandez.
See, and I can't remember his name. So I'm like, he has 3 names. I know that part. And I can rely on you to have my back on that one. So I feel good about it. The Rotten Tomatoes on this one this movie comes in rotten at 54%. The Pop-O-Meter has it fresh at 60%.
I saw.
So close. The original, point of comparison, both 70% fresh. So critics and audiences alike liked Father of the Bride better than Father of the Bride Part 2. And then there's you. So tell me, did you still, because you said before, you liked this movie better than the original when you saw it as a kid and whatnot. So is that still true?
No, it is not.
Okay.
I was very wrong. Much like, but less funnily so, with Splendor in the Grass, I was very wrong about this movie.
I would like you to be wrong like Splendor in the Grass more, because that was hilarious. This is just like, this isn't as good as I thought it was. That's less funny. But,
and it's fine. But yeah, I watched it and I went, oh, I was very wrong. This is not funnier than the first one.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's a comfort film.
Mm-hmm.
This is a massage on your brain. Hey, all of you punishing yourself, getting on the phone too much, or watching the news, stop. It's not changing.
Right. Watch Father of the Bride Part 2.
Watch Father of the Bride Part 2. Seriously. Are you going to watch it with a little weightiness of like, well, I wish that was my house.
Well, sure.
I wish I could have a kid and get pregnant and be that comfortable.
Right.
And know that I'm just going to be provided for. That would be lovely.
Yeah.
Is there a little bit of that weighing on you? Yes. But for the most part, it's just fluff. It's, delicious fodder.
It's never occurred to me this term until you were just saying all of that right now. And so I'm wondering what you think of, the term which I think we're going to agree is great because I just created it. And B, how you feel about the concept of security porn. Like
Oh my
watching
God.
something strictly for the fact that it makes you feel
Safe.
just relaxed. Like what you envy about it is the security of it, which is, I don't think there's too many stories where that's the point. Like, look at how comfortable everybody is. But you know, I mean, that could be like most of the HGTV stuff is kind of that, although that's also sort of like aspiration porn.
Yes.
It's like, I'd like to be able to afford a house where all that shit got put in it yesterday.
Yep.
You know, so I don't know, but you seem to be really drawn to the comfortingness of this movie.
It's so comforting, and I mean, we've made this comparison with other movies, but it's that movie that, you know, when you're at your parents, because who else has channel changing anymore? You
Right.
know, you're flipping through looking for something, and you're like, oh, that would be really relaxing. Like, I'll just put that on. I know
Mm-hmm.
it. I'm not going to get upset. Generally, you're not going to
Right.
get upset about anything with it. Like, you might find yourself getting emotional in parts that you never once got emotional about. Aging.
Right.
Um, but it's still going to be super comforting. And I mean, for a lot of people, I think that's Hallmark.
Yeah.
Actually, no, for a lot of that is Hallmark. That
That's exactly what Hallmark is.
I was about to say Lifetime, but I don't think Lifetime is comforting for anyone. That shit's like
No, that is
horrifying.
Mother May I Sleep with Danger and shit like that, starring
Yeah,
Tori Spelling. That's a real thing.
the pregnancy pact.
Yeah. They, you know, the girls from 90210 did more than their share of Lifetime movies. Like, it was a lot of women in peril going on.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah,
But Hallmark 100% is security porn.
definitely, which is kind of amazing then that I turn my nose up at it. Although if they ever wanted to hire me,
You're in.
I'm in. I'm in like Flynn. So yeah, maybe my mom was right, and security porn is definitely a thing.
I mean, it seems to be. Like, I could put this on like at my mom's house and have it on in the background, but to be honest, I probably wouldn't. Like,
Okay.
just because it's not interesting. This is why people put on sports when they're like at someone's house,
You know
because
what
you
I
can put
put
it
on?
on, you can halfway pay attention to it, but it can be on mute. It's totally fine. Like, that's why people watch sports a lot of times. But anyway, what were you gonna say?
No, I just thought of another one. This one is more apropos for me, but like
Mm,
The Holiday,
mm,
that's security porn. Like, oh, I can travel, I can swap houses with a complete stranger and everything's going to be totally fine.
yeah.
Cool. I'm going to get to meet a hottie in another country and once again not worry about
Mm-hmm.
anything. Awesome.
Yep. Sorry, Walter. Earmuffs.
He's fine.
No, I'm just letting him know. Um.
Who says he's not involved?
Oh, okay. Good. Good. Get Joe's. That's what I say. Get that
You're
foreign
welcome.
ass. That's right.
He's
Just
just over
got
there
you
nodding
laid,
along.
Walter. I just got you some man, lady, man three-way action. Enjoy it.
You are
Sweden,
making
here I
so
come.
many assumptions that are incorrect. I've already corrected one. I'm not going to correct the other.
No, I know. I just it was funnier because I was assuming you were out there gallivanting on your own looking for fellas. So then you said Walter came along. I'm like, well, you can both look for some fellas. Have a good time.
You
That's what
know,
I say.
yeah. We're
You could do the other way too. I'm not saying you can't. It can be a lady man threesome situation. That's fine.
We're keeping this in.
But here's the problem with that is you relate it to this movie. Walter's going to have to work a lot harder for both of you to end up pregnant. You know what I mean? It's just
Not for the getting us pregnant part, but for the security porn of it.
Well, okay. Sorry, Walter. Not a provider.
That's so. Oh man, this is.
Jesus.
I
I say
don't know.
a minute ago, I was getting Walter laid. Now you got me over here just trashing him. It's bad. And all he's doing is sitting there playing video games. He's not hurting nobody.
He's not. He's just nodding along like he's that Robert Redford gif of.
Yeah, Walter's just taking shrapnel. Sorry, dude.
What?
We love you.
Uh-huh.
Well, I love you. I can't assume for Jeff.
I think he's all right.
He thinks you're all right.
So do you have any theories about why this movie doesn't work as well? I have a couple. But it just doesn't work as well as the original. Even though George is George, like he's doing all the same George shit he did in the first movie, stressing out about the money of the thing and meh, meh, meh. And Frank is Frank, just franking. Same guy. The Annie and Nina, they're the same. Nope, still nobody's parenting little Maddie. He just goes around, does whatever he feels like.
Yeah.
That he could have been the one. What's with the leaving the Culkins by themselves?
No one wants to hang out with the Culkin boys.
No, I don't think that's true. I think those dudes are pretty all right. Best I can tell. They like wrestling. Macaulay Culkin's a big wrestling fan.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah. Kieran less so, I think, but I think he likes it too. Whatever. But everybody's the same. Like, but it just doesn't, I don't know.
I think people get more persnickety. Although I don't know if this was true in the 90s, but I'm going to associate it anyway. I think people get more persnickety about pregnancy stories.
Okay. In what way?
In that, well, that didn't happen to me, so that's not how it is for every pregnant woman.
I see. Okay.
Sometimes. I think we're getting better about realizing bodies are different all across the board when having a baby, but I think for a while there was this idea and image that pregnancy is just the same all across the board. Except everyone also wants to think that they're special and that their pregnancy story is special. So maybe this one just didn't reach as many people. Maybe people were a bit angrier at the fact that wow, this is the most beautiful pregnancy anyone has ever experienced.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a fairy tale pregnancy, honestly.
Yeah, so and you know why? Because it's not about the women. No one gives a shit about them in this movie. This movie is about George. And George being the one for whom this is all so difficult. And that is funny in Father of the Bride because it is objectively true that anyone at the wedding who's not getting married is it's a less important day. Mm-hmm. But if you're the one paying for it, it's a really stressful situation. You're not even involved in the getting married part. You just got to foot the bill. So for everyone in the room, George has the heaviest burden to carry in the first movie, because at the end of it, Brian and Annie are off married and having a good time. And George is dumping rice out of his shoes and considerably poorer than he was before the Swans. But in this movie, George is once again the most put upon. Mm-hmm. The one who is oh, everything is so hard for me. I'm going to be a grandfather. Everything is so hard for me, midlife crisis. Everything is so hard for me. I'm now going to be a father too. This is so expensive. Are we going to have a party? Frank is back. Oh no. they get to sleep on the couch after her pregnancy, after she went into false labor. I've got to go drive him to school. I'm so much more tired than they are. I have to set up the fan and make the food. And then I get to the hospital and I have to run back and forth. I don't think George's position is as
endearing.
It's not as endearing. It's not as relatable. Although, God, I guess in some ways it is, because some people think everything's all the way about them. But it's definitely not as endearing. And it doesn't bother you in the first movie that it's all about him, because it's called Father of the Bride, and the movie is about how hard it is to give your kid away. And and that's awesome. Like, this movie is about how hard it is on a dude when his daughter and his wife are pregnant. That's like, shut up.
Which, when you pointed that out, I don't know why I hadn't thought about that yet, but I was like, oh my God, you're so right. And that's really aggravating. Like, it kind of puts this dark cloud over an otherwise lovable character.
Yeah, I mean, it's just who the character is, and it's what the movie's about. But it's also like, but this was hard at the beginning when I had to find out. Then it was odd in the middle when I had to pay for stuff. And then it was hard on me at the end when I had to run back and forth between these two ladies, and I was tired.
Yeah.
For the two of them, it was mostly just laying on a couch. So pregnancy, easy. If you're the women who are pregnant.
Apparently.
But for dudes, it's like Homer said to Lisa, it's always something with you, Lisa. First, I had to drive your mother to the hospital to give birth to you. And now this.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
It's very hard on George Banks's out there. So I feel like that's part of it. Like, it's hard to get the funny out of a guy just being like super fucking whiny about everything's about him.
Yep.
Again. And
like, I don't want to say you have to be happy about, your partner being pregnant.
Right,
you don't.
Sure.
That, you have a choice on how you feel about it. Everything else, I can't say. But he is, he's an affluent man. He has a lovely house. He's in a lovely relationship. Like, he's going through the whole list of things that make his life wonderful in the opening monologue. So theoretically, there isn't a logical reason for him to not be happy. At least for his daughter, I can totally understand why he has reservations about him and his wife being pregnant.
Right. Sure.
Like, which would have been great if they had gone more in depth with that.
Yeah, like, but it's this isn't an in-depth movie.
No, it's not, and that's not the story they're trying to tell. That's not the message they're interested in exploring.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they just like seeing Steve Martin go all over the place and be zany but it could have stopped with, I was just getting used to being a grandfather.
Right.
Like, that's great. I don't need anything else again until you are weighing down Martin Short. Yeah,
that was funny.
Oh gosh.
That was a good bit of physical comedy with the two of them. I enjoyed. I had another reaction to this movie that is 100% going to be different than yours. Because still when I watch Father of the Bride, which we loved, go back and listen to it, you guys. I love Father of the Bride. It's great. I think it's Steve Martin's best performance. He is emotional and heartfelt and hilarious and all of these things. But in Father of the Bride, George is older than I am. Okay, even if
Okay.
he's just, I mean, because he's all white hair, Steve Martin, like he was like that when he was 28.
Yeah.
But George is at a place in his life where I am not in Father of the Bride, in that he's giving away, he's got an adult child, getting married, giving her away, right? That's something I haven't gotten to that yet.
Yeah.
In this movie, George is my age.
Hmm.
Not because of Annie, but because of Maddie. George starts this movie out the same way that Homer starts out the episode where they find out that Marge is pregnant with Maggie. Like, Homer quits his job and takes his ideal job working at the bowling alley, making very little money because they can afford it now.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
and then Marge gets pregnant and he realizes he's going to have to go take his job back at the nuclear power plant in order to pay for 3 kids when, it's the way it goes. But George is like, oh, we're stable. Like, I am this many years from being an empty nester, right? Which I am now as well, with Liam starting high school. I'm seeing in pretty short order my life being quite different.
Yes.
And what that does to the possibilities, right? Like, oh, what's on the table if I no longer have tuition or college to save for? What's on the table after we've paid off our house, like George has?
You adopt Walter and I.
There you go. But like, what are the options when we hit that point in life, which is coming up? So I'm where George is at the beginning of this movie. I'm thinking about these things. Like, we just had a conversation about it 2 nights ago. Like, what do you want to do when we retire? Because it's not immediate, but it's it's there. Yeah. And so let's start thinking about it. Like, how do we want to live? What do we want to do? What would be fun? What would be interesting? Whatever. I'm having the same thoughts that George is having at the beginning of this movie. And so I get him deeply at the beginning of this movie.
Yes.
In a way that I get like the love of your child and things like that from the first movie, but I haven't had that experience yet. He's older than me. But if I view him as a peer, the way I do in this movie, it changes my reaction to the things that he does. Because I'm like, you're such a clown. Like, well, you got your shit together better than this, George. Act like it. So it was interesting to me to watch that beginning of it as he's thinking, hey, if we sell the house, we can move to a condo on the beach. That sounds great. We don't need this big house anymore. Yeah. But then circumstances change and you need the big house again. Or you need the security porn that is the big house. So I feel like there's no way you got any of that from watching this movie. Like, I don't think any of it landed.
No, because I think I'm older than Annie in both films, and I am neither married nor with child. Yeah, and it's interesting because, I don't feel like this movie wants us to see those as the only landmarks in a woman's life.
Right.
But, Rome wasn't built in a day, and undoing, things that we all consider landmarks as humans institutions don't crumble in a day either.
No.
So yeah, it's just interesting, to see something that is, I definitely felt when I was living back home and my friends were getting married and having kids, and like, whether it happens intentionally or not, I would imagine it's unintentional, but like, those friendships change, and I can see where they probably want to hang out with other couples more. Or you want to hang out with it's definitely hard to hang out with my friends who have kids because, like, obviously they're really busy.
Hmm.
They're exhausted.
Hmm.
One of my friends from high school lives out here, and she had her first child a year ago, and we had many discussions beforehand because I was like, I'm gonna miss you, and I don't know what is gonna be the best way to reach out to
Hmm.
you because your life is about to be so different.
Yeah.
And not that my shit isn't valid, but it's gonna be like, you're gonna
It's
be
just,
exhausted. You're gonna be
it's way
going through
different.
something. It's gonna be so different.
Mhm.
And like the last thing that the last people I'm ever gonna vent to are people are new parents,
Sure. Right.
But we've managed to like figure out when I can go visit her when I can,
You
and
gotta see the baby.
oh my gosh, yes, I
Come
love.
see the baby.
That's been another sad thing about like some of my closer friends who were still having kids. Like I was moving around a lot in that time. So there are many a child that I did not hold, and I regret it so much because now they're all going to, by the time I'm able to hold them, they're going to be at an age where they're like stranger danger.
Sure.
Um, or just like,
Or, come on.
I don't know about that.
Pervy 12-year-olds. You never know, man.
My own niblets are very much like, why are you here? And I'm like,
Right.
that's the spirit.
Mhm.
Um, I'll get a side hug because they're just not big huggers.
Right.
And that's great that we're not forcing kids to hug anymore. But yeah, so all of that to say, this movie is so different than my experience, and
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
that's great. Like it's something that I watch and I go, cool. If that's what you really want, and you're able to like do the job thing, it's very much promoting the hey, women can have it all, which is
Right.
destructive in a way. It's not great. But security porn.
Hmm.
It's lovely to see what things could be in a utopian society, if you want to call this kind of movie,
Hmm.
which I very
Yeah.
much think it could be.
Yeah. I tell you one way though that it's definitely not a utopia. George wears a tie way too much.
But he gets to wear sneakers.
That doesn't make you cool, man. I mean, sneakers are for sneaking.
That's all you need to
Um,
feel comfortable, man.
I mean, I'm all for comfortable footwear. Like, you can, wear them sneakers that give you like the nice cushion. Get the arch support you need. It's very important as middle-aged fella here. Arch support, thumbs up.
Oh yeah.
Um, Man, you don't need to wear a tie everywhere. You just don't.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to wear khakis and a shirt and a tie to the hospital when your wife and daughter are both giving birth in the middle of the night.
Isn't it wild how much fashion has evolved since this movie?
Yeah.
I mean, for men, it's still pretty boring. Like, y'all, we
I
need
don't
to
know.
get
I
more
got this
exciting things for
t-shirt
men.
on.
Sure, that t-shirt's fun. But
It's
like,
awesome.
we were passing by a store earlier that, had men's clothing and it was like, oh, there's a sale. And I went, ooh, sale. This has nothing in there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
it's just
You're just
not
like,
Walter's style.
right. You
Um,
wouldn't want any of that stuff. Yeah.
no. So, but, and similarly, not every man in the 90s was going around constantly wearing khakis and button down and a tie.
I
Um,
wasn't. And I was all man in the 90s,
my
baby.
dad wasn't.
Yeah, no, I know. It's just I don't know. Calm down, George. Like relax with the tie. You want people to see you as young and hip and still watching the Mod Squad. Shouts Darren Spelling. Um, how about wear a t-shirt once in a while, my dude?
He probably loves gray sweatpants or leggings now. Like,
You think so? I think he still
what?
wears a fucking tie.
I want to think of him in the wildest circumstances where he's just like basic bitch with the Ugg boots, leggings, hoodie. So the stuff that was the style when I was in college. But like I think,
Okay.
but of course he's behind. So yeah, he's living that pumpkin spice latte couture lifestyle.
Oh, okay. I thought like I was picturing the dude, you know, just
Oh,
like an open bathrobe in the Ralphs, complaining about
whereas
hot dogs and hot dog buns.
that well, you say the dude. I bet many a youth thinks of it as Fat Thor. Um,
Oh well, sure. I mean, but Fat
is
Thor is an homage,
well, I know you know that, and I know that.
and the American people know it now, and so do
Yep.
people around the world. Cheesemeisters everywhere.
We have fixed everything.
Yay! Um, do you want to have adventures in intimacy?
Sure. There's a decent amount to unpack here.
Oh, good.
Um, I feel like some little things that you would need to certainly have an eye on. Um, the father-in-law kisses his dog right on the mouth, and I'm
Yes,
like,
he does.
you need to make sure with the animal trainer that this dog is cool and is not gonna, feel threatened when I bring
Eat
my
your
face into
face.
his. Yeah,
Yeah.
when I go in to kiss this dog on the mouth, is he gonna be okay with it, or is he? Yeah. Oh God.
What? Was that upsetting to you? Dude,
Yes,
like
it was.
open mouth kisses dog. It's a lot, man. I get love your dog, but that's a lot.
It's a lot, and you can totally get sick that way.
Yeah, I don't
But I'm
recommend
not
it.
perfect either. Let's see.
Who amongst us has not French kissed a dog? Throw
Throw
the
the
first
first
stone.
stone. You know,
Not so fast, Leslie.
I never thought about needing an IC in this moment until reading about like labor scenes in House of the Dragons and
Hmm.
uh oh, It Ends With Us, that horrible Blake Lively Tristan
Oh,
Baldoni mess.
yeah. Heard about
Um
it.
but it but I do think it makes sense now thinking about it. Like, if you haven't been through that, you're going to need some kind of coaching. Also, like, you're playing someone who is in a medical setting, so a lot of people might be in your space, might be putting hands on you. um you know in the 90s, she's wearing a hospital gown. More and more, we're seeing just how unrobed women get when they're in labor,
Mm-hmm.
because I would imagine they get very hot and you just want everything off. But I'm guessing I
Right.
mean, it looks like a lot of work. And so it would make sense why you're really fucking hot and you just want to be topless in that moment or without everything.
Also, can I say something about the delivery scenes that isn't
Tell me.
intimacy related? We can come back. No chance that those two women are just sitting in those rooms by themselves. Like,
No.
how many people are working at this on the maternity ward of this hospital? One doctor and no nurses? Bullshit. Those rooms, like under non-emergency C-section type situations, if you're doing a hospital birth, there are like four medical professionals in the room when you're giving birth. Like
No.
that's what's going on, and there's nurses coming in all day checking your numbers, how you feeling. Like all of those two women just have all the time in the world, not an epidural between them. Bullshit. Like this was like the we can't pay any extras to birth these children movie scene. It was really weird.
Again, fairy tale pregnancies. These women
Yeah.
don't need any extra help. Their bodies know what they're doing. They only need the one woman doctor because women are superheroes.
Mhm.
It's fine. It's fine.
Except for she needed an emergency C-section.
Yeah.
There would have been way more nurses involved in this. Shouts to the nurses.
Yeah. Indeed.
So
Um,
anyway, sorry, back to the intimacy.
no, that's totally okay. I think we should talk about that more and what else. But yeah, so I think I wish I could list all the reasons why this is necessary, but I could totally see wanting an IC in the room when you are acting out a labor scene.
Hmm.
Um, Something I need to do more research on because having not had that experience, I wouldn't know how to coach someone through it. But again, that's what research is for.
There you go.
I couldn't help but notice Diane Keaton is wearing the most Little House on the Prairie pajamas I have seen since Melissa Gilbert.
Oh, I didn't notice her pajamas. I noticed her June
goodness.
Cleaver pearls and stuff, but
she was wearing this like practically starched button down high collar, long puffy sleeve, like very Victorian almost, except it went in like just below the knees. And look, it's Diane Keaton. She loves wearing, masculine clothing.
Sure.
And, maybe that speaks to like not feeling the need to like show off her body in a feminine way. Maybe she wants to be more covered. I have no idea. But the neck, the collar is what took me out. I went, you would be burning up. Like, right. I know I'm not near menopause yet, but I'm 36. I'm starting to get a little warmer at night. To the point where sometimes I'm like, don't snuggle me. I'm too warm. You over there. And, well, I can't really move Ember because my child.
Sure.
But still.
My child sleeps in a different room, just FYI.
Well.
Always has. There are choices to be made. That's all I'm saying.
There are choices to be made, and I choose to keep that little ball of fluff.
Yours.
Oh, absolutely.
You have made yours.
I have no regrets. No. But if it was a human if it was a human child as big as your human child, absolutely they're not going to be.
That would be weird.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I got a king size bed. You can't put 3 people grown-ups in there and sleeping. I'm sure you can do other things. Not with your child. That's gross. But
you can have Bob and Carol, Ted and Alice sit right next to each
All 4
other.
of those fuckers sat in that bed together.
Yeah.
That's right. But we don't know if we did anything else.
The choice of pajamas I found interesting, but I'm going to leave that as possibly something actually, no, there's one of 2 things it could have been. It could have been Diane Keaton's one choice, desire for pajamas. It also could have been, older women. No one wants to see older women in a sexual light, so we will put on the most Victorian looking nightgown on her.
It could have. It's weird. I think it's more that's who she and George are. He always wears the ties and she always dresses like that. Like,
it could be.
They're pretty buttoned up. They were in the first movie too.
That's true. Very, very beige.
Yeah, super beige.
But with the way they shot their, I'm going to call it their intimate foreplay, their simulated foreplay, because of course we don't see them actually have sex, but all the clues are there. It made me think about, how do we tell love stories no one wants to see?
Okay.
And I'm projecting. I'm thinking it's the 90s. They're thinking people only want to watch young people, young pretty people fall in love. But part of the romance of this is George and Nina still having a very loving marriage. And, they still get it on and everything. So.
Do they? I mean, the way she reacted to him coming on to her, we probably need to talk about. But go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, we definitely should. Let's just break down that whole scene leading up to it, because she comes home and he's staring at her because he's feeling young and vibrant because he darkened his hair.
Yeah.
And they show her doing this thing where she's like scratching the back of her leg, and it's supposed to like do things to him.
Yeah.
Just like being, existing as a woman does things to men. And I mean, it is funny how like you can see how it would be titillating, and you can also see it's just her scratching her leg,
right?
But cool. And yeah, she acts very shocked at his touch.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if they felt because this is how we portray a 25-year marriage. They're hardly touching, but we're not going to make it a joke. We're just, that's going to be how they are. Or like, oh, no one wants to think about their parents having sex or, you know, having the hots for each other. So we're going to have them play very chaste. It's interesting.
Hmm.
Um,
I mean, I think that some of her reaction is supposed to be because he is, now that he dyed his hair, he's like all like he's way randier than he normally is.
yeah.
Right? Like, oh, George, what got into you? You know, that kind of thing. But it like her reaction is stronger than that. Like, we never do this anymore.
Yeah.
Why are you suddenly interested in this now? Not like, oh, you cad, but more like, I couldn't tell you the last time you touched me sexually. Like,
Yeah.
that's how it came off, which is like, wow, that's like, they don't have an affectionate relationship or a sexual one in any way, except for this time that they got his hair dyed.
I think they might be affectionate, but they're certainly not a super sexual couple. Because, but I
Mm-mm.
will say too, he pulls out all the stops, which, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, that does usually indicate, at least in movies, that they're not doing this regularly.
Right.
You
He
know,
didn't pull out all the stops.
well, that's true. He
The
didn't pull
last
out at
stop
all.
stayed right on in there. That's how we had a second baby. I didn't know if anybody was picking up on what I was putting
You
down
mean a
there.
third?
Oh, the second one in this movie.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's true.
simultaneous baby.
Um, but yeah, because I mean, he, you know, he's all up in her space,
Hmm.
and you know, she's warming up to him, and then he's like, "Oh, look, I also bought you something," and she's like, "Oh my God, no! Like, why would I wear that?"
Hmm.
Once again, like, yes, that is a fair response. If you don't want to wear things like that, that's totally fine. A lot of it's complicated and it's useless. Definitely don't spend too much money on that. Come on. Uh, but it just, that's like case point two, why it feels like they were projecting no one wants to see this couple doing it.
Yeah.
No one wants to see their parents doing it, because then what do? They turn out the lights, and I'm like, you just said you have the house to yourselves.
Right. Right.
And I'm not trying to judge. Again, these are all like perfectly logical ways to have sex with your partner.
Hmm.
But for the story they're trying to tell, it feels conflicting, and it very much felt like this couple needs to have sex in order for them to have a baby because that's how it works.
Right.
But
It's because that's the plot point.
that's the plot point, but it's the 90s, and so we're allowed to show more things, but no one wants to see, and it's complicated, hasn't come out yet. Like,
Yeah. I like. I would have. I know that's not this movie, but I am more interested in a movie about George Banks having like this midlife crisis, for what lack of a less cliched term, and working through the lack of intimacy in his marriage with his wife while their
yes,
daughter is pregnant. I would rather see that. I think that's so much more interesting. It's
yes,
not what this movie is or wants to be, and so I understand. I'm just pulling things out of the whatever, but it's that's a more interesting story. You know, I would like to see what George and Nina's relationship is actually like. That's more
yes.
interesting to me than, oh, I'm tired because these ladies is pregnant.
Yeah, because it just left me wondering, is this because the actors don't get along, don't really have good chemistry? Or is this because you all think that no one cares about parents still loving each other? I know it's the 90s and divorce rates are, you know, up, but like, just which is it? And also, why can't you trust that people of other ages want to see themselves reflected on screen too?
Hmm.
Like,
I don't know. I
Yeah.
tell you what, there's a certain point where you only want to see attractive people on television.
I understand
I
that,
don't
but
want to.
we still need look. Then it perpetuates the story that only beautiful people fall in love. And then there are
No,
people, and like,
I know.
listen, we can't all look like Jennifer Aniston. That would be impossible. That,
Right,
like, it just doesn't make sense to only tell that kind of story. It's not really interesting.
right,
Like,
yeah,
or at least if that is interesting to you, well, then that's why they have, you pick your own genre of porn to watch. That's
sure.
I'm gonna call you vanilla. Um,
Right, right.
just like I say about other people, want more, want
Yeah,
variety.
yeah.
It's good
Be
to see.
pervier.
Yep, okay, but
I agree
like
with that too.
in the right way.
In whatever way you're pervy, as long as it doesn't hurt nobody.
There you go. That's there it is. So yeah, I think we need love stories all across the board from
Yeah.
different ages, different groups, because it looks different all across the board too.
Mhm.
And representation matters.
What other intimacy stuff?
In a way. So okay, with George being dragged by Franck, like
Uh-huh.
that whole physical bit, I was just thinking about like because at one point he does totally lean over and put his hand like in his lap and such. So like, I mean, I know they're buddies and
Mhm.
they are I have no idea how they would feel about having or working with an IC. And I don't want to know. I don't want to feel
Gotcha.
negatively about them. But that is something you would need to coordinate and, make sure you're putting your hand in the same place every single time so you don't accidentally hit someone in their genitals.
Right.
But for the rest of it, I thought, would this be a fight choreographer or would this be stunt? I see. And depending on the budget,
Right.
it's going to depend on the budget.
Yeah.
Because either one of those people could do that.
Yeah.
Easily.
I feel like they worked that out on their own because because those are two, and they always have been, very physical comedians.
Yeah.
Like these two guys know how to use their bodies to get the laugh. And they built that whole routine together. Just like wrestlers work through their match beats, like what's going to happen in the match. They worked through all of that together to make it the funniest they could. That was their goal. And there's only two people involved, so it's 100% what they wanted.
Absolutely. And that's fine. I think, I'm about to go to a week-long thing of intimacy workshops, so I may feel completely differently after this, but I feel like that is an instance, and they would have done this on film. Like people would have had to have written down, okay, you're going to do this here, and then you're going to do this, because you have otherwise the editing is going to look weird, or there's going to be consistency issues. Like thankfully in film, you do have to do the same thing over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's physical stuff, it's going to wear on your body. And sure, they're younger here, but also maybe they've probably taken better care of their bodies than most artists because they're big in physical comedy, like you said. So yeah, I would just want to make sure everything gets written down,
Sure. Yeah, I feel like that's probably not how this went.
They just did it.
Yeah, I feel like this is 1995. It's Steve Martin and Martin Short. They're trying to make the funniest thing they can. Let's try it like this. Okay, what if I did this time? Oh, that's funny. Let's do it this way. Okay, and they probably did it 6 or 7 times, figuring it out, and then maybe they recorded all those. Yeah. Maybe they just recorded the last one. But I feel like it's just a bit they would have worked out on their own.
And that works sometimes. I'm always going to say the more eyes you have on it, the better.
Sure.
Although that's not always true with intimacy because closed set is a thing.
Right.
I don't know. I get really, you know me, I get really uptight when people don't want to let in help of others. But again, this is a purely hypothetical thing we're talking about. We have no
Yeah, yeah,
idea.
yeah.
We
And
don't really know.
I'm just guessing
Yeah.
that this is how it went. I'm not saying that's how it should have gone, but I'm
Sure.
guessing this is how it did go. Um, Based purely on the fact that they're physical comedians going for the joke. You know,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
their goal is different than a love scene, or because it doesn't even advance. It's a bit. The whole thing's a bit. Like he takes those pills strictly so they can do this. This is the
Yes.
culmination. You know, it's not a plot point. It's the end of the piece. And so they, two people who know what they're doing, how to be funny, are just going to try to be funny. I think that's really where
Yeah.
you're going to end up. So,
Yep.
and I mean, I didn't really think anything in this movie was overly funny, but I liked that. I thought that bit was good.
I did too. The more I watch those two, moments like that are really fun because they're having a good time
Yeah.
because they're such great buddies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would love to be able to do stuff like that with my best friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so
But they're
yeah.
all in prison now.
Wow.
Oh,
No,
wait.
they're all in
Sorry.
different cities.
Oh,
Jeez.
well, I don't know your friends.
Assuming my friends are in prison.
It's one possible outcome. Is
That's
all
making me seem so much more exciting than I am.
right. You're not George Banks. You got prison friends.
Prison Mike.
Anything else in intimacy?
Oh, one last thing. And I feel like this stuck out to me more as a standardized patient, which I've mentioned before, people, that is my job. I play patient for medical students. But the OBGYN puts her hand on Annie's knee, and I was like, ooh, nope. And that is where we have a discussion and feedback about, while I
Yeah.
could tell you were trying to be kind and I appreciate your friendliness, I wasn't really comfortable with you putting your hand on my knee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There was a story
No.
that I was going to tell, but I'm not going to tell it.
Okay.
I
Okay.
decided not to. I decided not to. That's all.
It's just, I, she's a woman. She's a woman. It's fine. No, just doctor, patient, professional. You can still be kind and professional. I tell students this all the time. I know what I'm talking about. Anyway,
Yep.
so that was more from.
All I'm saying is don't play Do You Trust Me Here. That's all.
Oh God, no, definitely not.
Don't play that. That's not the way to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are other comforting touches you can give in that moment. If you really feel like you need to give a patient, or have the doctor character give the patient a comforting touch, it can be a hand squeeze. It can be a look. It can be a nod. Honestly,
Right.
like,
Mm-hmm.
but touching me on the knee. No.
Ask yourself in that circumstance, what would Izzy Stevens do?
No. Fuck no. Run. Do not pass go and collect $200. You run.
You know what's impressive is that I remembered the name of a character on Grey's Anatomy.
You know what's even more impressive? I made that reference a few weekends ago when we were doing the sim center thing for high school kids wanting to be in medical school. Oh, slurred all those words. But I mentioned, like, don't cut the LVAT wire, and someone went, too soon. And I went, you are too young. You were born when that happened. It is not too soon.
I don't even know what happened there, but I'm assuming someone blew up.
No, that's what Izzy does to Denny to get him higher up on the heart transplant list. She cuts his LVAT wire.
Oh, I do not remember. I mean, I remember that
love.
story. Oh, well,
in the
sure.
name of love, Jeff. God, you've clearly never been in love. If you
Tell you what I've never done is gone to a prom in a high school or in a hospital. I mean, that's some bullshit. Prom in a hospital. Izzy Stevens reference. I'm proud of me. Anything else on intimacy?
No, that's it.
All right. We have a when possible end on Grey's Anatomy.
Sure.
I got nothing for Needle Drop Forest. There's no what's new, pussycat. whoa, whoa, in this movie. There's just like there's some montagey stuff, but yeah, music doesn't matter in this movie so much.
No, but I think it does its job in, at least for me, in
Hmm.
that it sweeps you up.
There's a
It
lot of sweeping.
There is so much sweeping in
Yeah,
this music.
sweeping
And
and sweeping.
oh my gosh. I mean, it's going to lift you up and carry you gently through all of the emotional turmoil.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really emotional turmoil, but it's
There's
going to lift you up and make you a little misty-eyed, but just enough, not, we're not, this isn't Schindler's List. We're not going to make you bawl
right,
over this
but
music,
they're sweeping.
but they're sweeping. And I mean, even Walter, he was just listening while I watched, and he was like, "Wow, this music is working hard."
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then I looked up. I had to look up the composer, and I was very impressed once I realized who it was. Do you know who it
Uh-huh.
is?
I'm sure is it um the apprentice from the Sorcerer's Apprentice, because that guy has brooms and there's almost as much sweeping.
No, it is Alan Silvestri, who
Okay.
did Back to the Future,
Ah,
a lot of Avengers films,
oh,
Forrest Gump. So like the man knows how to emotionally manipulate you.
sure. Yeah.
Like in a, I would say in a big broad way. The
Hmm.
man is going to motivate you somehow
Yeah.
musically, because like that
Yep.
Back to the Future,
Oh, that's great.
oh my
Hmm.
god.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I would definitely say, like, if I just heard this music playing, I'm gonna know it's Father of the Bride, and I think you would too.
I would know Father of the Bride's music. I'm not sure I would know Father of the Bride Part Two's music.
It's the same music.
Do they not do anything different?
No, not really.
Okay. Then I
There might be
probably would
one or
recognize I would recognize the music that plays like over the top of like this is our house where we lived and where I raised my kids. Like I would recognize that music. When you get to the music in the middle that's like um where the uplift happens in the middle of the movie, I couldn't tell you what that sounds like. But the stuff at the beginning I get completely.
yeah, the stuff that was playing while he and Annie are playing basketball throughout her age.
Uh-huh.
Uh, that's where it was working the hardest, and that's where Walter
Sure.
was like, "What is?" And I went, "It's making you feel something.
Yeah.
It's making sure that even if you can't relate to George, you feel something."
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
you're supposed to get this loss, this passage of time, but also the chance to do it again. You
yeah,
know, like you're supposed to go on, so the music is helping you on that journey for sure. Because you're supposed to be with George. And you know, like you said at the beginning, he starts out talking about how great his life is.
yeah,
But that is the voiceover after all of this is finished. You know, like he's gone through all of this crazy and he is like thankful for his life and all of the crazy that is involved, even though in the moment it felt like it was a lot. Here I am on the other side of it, everything's great.
yeah.
um and that's, you know, you're supposed to you're that's the arc the audience and the music want you to take with George.
Yeah.
um is there too much voiceover in this movie? Because there's a shit ton of voiceover in this movie.
Probably because what is it, to what end? What is it for? Is it
What
just
it,
a
it
trend of the time?
No, I don't know. Not really. It's just they lean on it in this movie quite a bit. Like George is constantly giving you an update on all the things that happened in between the scene you're watching now and the scene you just watched.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot. There's voiceover probably. There's probably almost as much voiceover in this as there is montage in Rocky Four.
You know what it is? They don't trust the two pregnancies to keep people engaged. They have to keep a man speaking and
Well, they
telling
have
the
to tell
story.
us. They have to tell a story about the two pregnancies if they want us to be engaged in it. But they don't.
Fair.
They just want to tell us the story about like the 4 times this was hard for George.
Well, and isn't that the joke of most rom-coms? It's like you're seeing the lead up to something, and
Right.
then you're ending it right when it gets most interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Um. All right. What else time? Um. This this is Annie's defining role, but I don't think it's anybody else's.
No.
But it would be Annie's from the first movie, not Annie's from this movie. But it's the same role.
Correct.
But yeah, I don't think this is anybody's defining role. Um, there are people who I think maybe would say Martin Short. You know, because Frank is such a big character.
I think it's probably, yeah, I'm probably in that camp because I mean I've seen Three Amigos.
Mm-hmm.
What else have I seen him in?
Only Murders.
Well, yes.
Yeah. Um, have you seen? I mean, as a movie role, this might be his his defining role. I see him more as Ed Grimley
Oh, okay.
or as Jiminy Glick, who's like the greatest character ever created.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Jiminy Glick is so funny. Um, than Frank, but Frank is um, kind of an iconic character for his over the top, you know, accent that we're all just going to still agree is probably okay.
It's
Um,
so funny. I mean, it's so ridiculously over the top, especially in this movie. It feels like he just leans into this is absolutely an accent I'm making up.
100%. This is not based on any real language that anyone's
Mother of the
ever
pod.
spoken. Um,
Bonding.
what? Let me ask you this: what the fuck's Frank doing in this movie? Like, other than the fact that we want Martin Short to be in this movie because he was so great in Father of the Bride, and Frank is a funny character. What the fuck is Frank doing in this movie?
Because pregnant women aren't funny, Jeff. God, what is wrong with you? We don't actually care about pregnant women. They're not funny.
What if
We
they're doing
need Martin Short.
aerobics?
Oh, well, of course, that's hilarious.
Yeah, fatties and leotards. Hilarious. I don't know. I just like George doesn't know why Frank's there. Frank's just there because Frank likes the Bonks. Um, and I mean, I'm happy enough to have Frank around again, but narratively, that character, what the Christ is it doing in this movie? Like,
He's he is George's spending addiction personified. See, George actually has a shopping addiction, but they don't
hmm,
talk about it. And then these big moments have happened that have made him go almost bankrupt. So that's
yeah,
really why they're significant, but he can't talk about it because shopping addiction isn't a thing yet in 1995. Uh,
right.
an acknowledged thing.
Is it shopping addiction when you sell your house and then buy it back the next day at $100,000 loss?
That's just you want drama. You might
That
be a
is,
narcissist.
yeah, that is a harder conversation to have with your wife than I just agreed to sell the house and move out in 10 days. Um,
Makes it look like I mean, it kind of leans into the idea of security porn. Like people want to knock all the time. Like I know this argument came up with 50 Shades of Grey like, "Oh, if Christian Grey wasn't rich, she wouldn't be doing any of this or be into him." And it's like, I mean, you're not wrong.
yeah, I don't know. I've never
Like,
seen or read. I know what they're about. I get it.
that the other day when you talked about or maybe I heard this when editing, but you mentioned putting down a book. It was Twilight. Oh yeah, you said that was the one time you put down a book was Twilight, and I went,
Yes.
and I thought in my head the first time I put down a book was a 50 Shades novel. I was like, I'm done. I don't need to validate my feelings like about this series. I knew it was going to be garbage, and I'm done.
Yeah. I mean, look, garbage is fine. If garbage is your thing, enjoy your garbage. I knew what that was. I'm like, I'm not going to enjoy this book.
There are
I mean,
better romance novels for cheaper.
Yeah,
It's
I've
written
walked
better.
past bodice ripper after bodice ripper, and never once been like, I should probably read this story. This pirate story looks intriguing to me.
Except there's no bodice ripping in 50 Shades. It's probably one of many things it's missing.
Yeah, no bodices to begin with.
But yeah, so I forget what got me to this point. Oh, but because it makes it look like Annie only cares about having the house, or not Annie, Nina only cares about having the house, being provided for, and all that. She's not going to care that he spent all this money. No, she totally would care.
I feel like she would care.
She would absolutely care. That's your kid's college.
Yeah, I mean, Nina is like, it's never presented like Nina is a charge it. Like, she's not that. It's always presented like George is such a tightwad.
Yes.
So like, we don't get the impression that she's out there just willy-nilly spending, that's her lifestyle or her default setting. Yeah. But I don't feel like she would be like, $100,000, cool.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. All right. We have a mortgage again. Do I have to get a job?
Yes.
Because I thought you were about to retire, and here we are.
That baby inside you needs to get a job.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Maddie will start, pulling his weight here soon.
Chimney sweeping.
Oh, maybe. Chimney sweeping. It's a good job. You get to, what happens if you're a chimney sweep? You make enough money to eat dinner at restaurants with penguins for waiters. Like, do you know how much money you have to, like, what kind of Michelin star joint you have to go to where like penguins are your waiters and shit? That's
love
real
that
money.
Movie.
That's real money involved when you have penguin waiters. All right, what is this the EST of for you?
This is the most romantic story about pregnancy.
Is it?
I think this is the most romanticized view of pregnancy. There we go. I got there.
Yeah, that's different, and that is more accurate.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Pregnancy's great if you're. You can just lay on the couch. It's fine. Let me know. I'll get. But let me know. You a fan? Cool. I'm tired.
Shut up.
I think for me, this is the EST for me this is my least favorite Martin and Martin collaboration.
Fair.
Like, I mean, Father of the Bride, Three Amigos, Only Murders, all infinitely better than Father of the Bride Part 2. Yeah. So, still love Steve Martin, still love Martin Short. This movie, I'm good. I don't need any more Father of the Bride Part 2. Father's Little Dividend. That's what the original is called. You know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's Father of the Bride and then Father's Little Dividend or something like that.
That's precious.
Yep. But this one, they were like, what people can't understand? That.
Math.
So we're going to call it Part 2. And that's what they did. And friends, that's what they did. I think once again, we have proven my theory that everything comes back to Aaron Spelling.
Even Father of the Bride Part 2.
Ghostbusters.
Electric Boogaloo.
That's right. To father, to bride.
With a vengeance.
That's right. Did this displace anything on your rankings of the sequels that we have done? Did you like this more or less than Everybody Wants Some? Because that was your bottom one.
Yeah.
You liked it more?
Hell yeah. This is security porn. That is what I have to be afraid of.
Okay. Gotcha. This is 100% not worse than Grease 2.
Correct.
So, like I said, there are maybe 10 movies ever made worse than Grease 2, and this ain't one of them. So, all right. Next week, Cheesemeisters, join us on Wednesday when we watch season 4, episode 19, The Labors of Love. And we have not talked about what we're going to do for next week. I have a thought, but we'll carry it offline because we're 1 for 3 the last 3 weeks with actually getting it right when we say what we're going to watch next week. So we'll table it. We'll let you know when you listen to The Labors of Love what we're going to have coming up on Friday. Yep. So until then, Cheesemeisters.
Cheers.
Cheers!